You're very welcome back to IrelandAM. Earth is set to play host to a mini-moon this week as a small asteroid about the size of a double-decker bus will enter the planet's orbit. Now, to tell us more about this astrological event and how you might be able to spot it from Earth, David Moore from Astronomy Ireland joins us. Now, astronomical, not astrological. God, I got very confused there. So you don't have to tell me my horoscope. Good. I'm a Leo. I know what's going to happen to me this month anyway. Tell us about this mini-moon. What is a mini-moon, first of all?
Well, there are lots of little asteroids whizzing around out there in space. Some of them are tens or hundreds of kilometres across, but most of them are tiny. This one's about the size of a house, 10, 20 metres across. And this is actually a world exclusive as far as we know. We managed to get the picture of the Discovery image when it was very far away on August the 6th. And this little blip is what's going to go into orbit about the Earth tonight. The little streak, because over, I think it's 30 seconds the camera took this picture, it's actually moved because it's coming close to the Earth, moving very fast. The background stars don't move, it does. And when they projected its orbit forward, it turned out it wasn't going very fast and the Earth's gravity is going to be able to trap it. Normally they whiz past at 100,000 miles or kilometres an hour. This one's only doing a couple of thousand, so that's not fast enough for the Earth to let it go, and we catch it and keep it in orbit. So it's
not bouncing off us, it's just coming in like a little boomerang.
Yeah, and our gravity will hold. I'm not sure if we have a graphic showing the actual orbit, but it'll loop around the Earth only about once, and then it escapes off. But it'll come back in January, and it'll come back again in 2055, because it's only loosely bound to the Earth. Here's actually the pictures they had, that you can see it moving across the sky, and that's how you determine its orbit.
How long will it actually be in orbit with us? So how many days or weeks can we see it for?
Only for 56 days, so we've got 8 weeks to see it.
And it's starting tonight?
Starting at 9 p.m. tonight, it's officially captured by Earth's gravity. This has happened twice before with objects just temporarily going around the Earth, and twice as well with objects that have stayed here for years. And we reckon it'll probably happen every month, just the telescopes can't scan all of the sky all of the time.
This telescope now is probably
we have to give credit
ones.
to the University of Hawaii and NASA, who fund the whole project, and the Atlas telescope is actually looking for asteroids that might one day hit the Earth, because we don't want to go the way the dinosaurs did when an object 10,000 metres across hit the Earth and caused a nuclear winter scenario.
But you mentioned that a lot of these are in orbit in the Earth all the time, or not in orbit, but sorry, they hit the atmosphere and they bounce off and they go to wherever else. Some of them aren't particularly big, they're small, they don't cause too much damage. But there is one happening, I believe, in 2029 that should be of slight concern to us.
Yeah, and it's on April the 13th. I think that is actually a Friday the 13th.
Oh, great!
But fortunate astronomers are not superstitious.
Yeah.
And it'll come so close that you'll be able to see it with the naked eye. It'll be about as bright as the stars in the cloud.
Because you need a telescope for the one tonight,
This one
obviously.
you definitely need a telescope for, I mean, it's not like our moon. Our moon is 3 million kilometres across. This is 10 kilometres. But some of the objects, you know, if they hit the Earth, they can cause major devastation. So that's what Atlas is trying to do.
So this one could do that, the one in 2029 that we're predicting will?
Yes, but it's unlikely. It comes so close that we can't measure its position so accurately that when it comes close, if it comes a little bit closer than we think or a little bit further out, it could just put it on a collision course. I think it's for 2035, but I think the statistics are currently of the order of 1,000,000 to 1, so nothing to worry about yet. And we've actually sent spacecraft to hit these asteroids and done it.
I was actually wondering, is that possible? Like, what do they do to bounce them out of the way? I mean, if they're coming at you at that sort of speed, it must be nuclear bomb capabilities to...
Yeah, everybody thinks nuke them, blast them to smithereens.
Sure,
the problem
they don't have oxygen or anything to...
Well, actually, nuclear bombs work in the vacuum of space. So that wouldn't actually be any problem.
Learn something new every day. Thank you, David.
Even normal explosives do, because they have their own oxygen built into them. But the problem is, the object's travelling so fast, I said 100,000 miles, kilometres an hour, that if you hit this thing, what you do is, it's currently like a rifle bullet. It's going to hit the Earth and blast a hole. But if you hit it with a nuclear bomb, you just really break it into fragments and you get a shotgun blast on the Earth instead of a rifle gun blast.
So we want to kind of bounce it out of the way instead.
The trick is to be clever and move it off orbit, so in years' time, when the object hits or doesn't hit, it just swoops past the Earth. As long as it misses us, it's grand. It's if it hits us, that's the problem. And a tiny nudge will actually do the trick.
Yeah. Now, some of the telescopes, we mentioned the Atlas one, that's huge. I mean, the size of it is massive to get. Like, how far away would that be from the Earth right now?
Well, the asteroid only comes to within 4 million kilometres,
Yeah.
so it was probably 5 or 6 million kilometres away.
Yeah.
Remember, the moon's about just under a half of a million
And
kilometres.
what sort of strength telescope would you need to see it yourself?
Well,
if you're
even
at
the
home?
big one here, the orange one, that collects about 1,000 times more light than your eyes, and you need to have a very good camera on that just to pick up a tiny blip like this. We rate telescopes by their diameter. This one's 8 inches across.
Yeah.
The telescope that this is only about 20 inches across, so it's 5 or 6 times more powerful. Has a very sensitive camera,
Yeah.
and it's linked up to very clever software that can automatically find these little blips, because you can see how many stars they see in
Yeah.
every picture.
And of course, not everybody would have one of these at home, because I'd say this would be quite expensive to have in your backyard.
Yeah, that one is computerized, which
Yeah.
pumps the price up. It makes it very easy to find things. But you can get a telescope with the equivalent power that won't do the photography for less than €500.
Yeah.
That one's over 2,000 with the computer and the compactness that it has. You don't need telescopes like that.
That's a smaller telescope now.
This is the kind of one people can easily afford.
Yeah.
And when I bought this one, it's less than €100. And it's got a lens about 3 inches across. And you can change the magnification to any number you want just by changing these eyepieces. So if you ever see a telescope advertised on the basis of its magnification, don't buy it, because you can change it. And anyone who makes telescopes, manufacturers, know this. So if they're selling telescopes on the basis of magnification, you know they're preying on a misconception people have. And
Really?
that'll probably tell you about the
So you
quality.
change the lenses rather than the
Exactly.
eyepieces, rather than actually.
And they usually come with 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So go by diameter. Lens telescopes are better than mirror telescopes by about 50%, but mirror telescopes are cheaper. The Atlas telescope's a mirror telescope.
No,
All the giant ones are.
I seem to be seeing a lot more of you in the last year than I have done for quite a while. We're having quite a lot of events up in the sky of late. I mean, is that going to continue into the future? Have we anything else to look forward to, or not, as the
Absolutely.
case may be?
I mean, we've lots of events coming up in October. Big Saturn Watch on the 15th, evening classes on the 22nd.
Saturn Watch?
Saturn Watch, we're going to
What's
set
going on
up
with
telescopes like this to show people the rings of Saturn. They're tipped almost edge onto us. We're in the middle of aurora season at the moment, so people may remember the big aurora
Borealis.
that happened on May the 10th. We were flooded with photographs. We have a special issue of the magazine for that. I've seen 8 Northern Lights aurora displays from Ireland this year, and that's including the Irish weather. And around the equinox, the sun is coming close to its 11-year cycle of maximum activity. It'll either be this year or next year. We don't know till after it's over. And that's going to cause more northern lights. And if you want to get predictions free of charge, you go to astronomy.ie, our website, and down the bottom you'll see the social media links.
Yeah.
Every day before sunset, we post a prediction. Is an aurora coming that night for Ireland or not?
Now, a lot of people, because of all these events that have been happening, are fascinated now with doing this sort of stuff. If you're doing astronomy for beginners, what tips do you have? What can you do?
This is the telescope to start with. Binocular telescopes, yeah. They are actually 2 telescopes strapped side by side. 2-inch lenses, so they'll see about 100 times more than your eyes will. There's a big comet coming in October. You'll see it with the naked eye. You'll get a much better view with a pair of binoculars.
Yeah.
In November, the planet Venus is coming. In December, the best meteor shower of the year. January, Mars at its closest. February, there's 3 planets near the moon. March is a total eclipse of the moon.
Is there a way of learning about this?
Yeah, there are evening classes at Astronomy on the Astronomy for Beginners. They start on the 22nd of October. They're done online, so you can do them anywhere in the world.
And are they suitable for all ages, or?
They're aimed at kids, so you can get the whole family around the smart TV and watch it together. And we have the YouTuber John Campbell, who's got, I think, more followers than Astronomy Ireland. He's the tutor for the classes, but they're aimed at the general public. No, you don't have to have done science for the Leaving Cert or even the Junior Cert to enjoy them. And over 8 weeks, you'll learn as much as you want to know about astronomy, but we're afraid to ask.
You are so kind for coming in. Thank you so much. Can't wait for that. And send us more pictures of that thing if you get them later on. I know
will.
you'll try. Now, still to come, we sit down with renowned actor Ian Lloyd Anderson. Plus, we preview the best of this week's telly. We're back after this short break.
New Pantene Molecular Bond Repair Intensive Treatment. 5,000 Pro-V Nutri-Pearls in every bottle.
My hair looks truly regenerated.